In Lee's Los Angeles Comic Con. This is our Geekfest Filmmakers panel. My name is Chris Gore. I am from FilmThreat.com. I'm a big fan of this festival. I really love what Bill Ostrov has been able to put together.
Hello, my name is Josh Maho, and I wrote and directed a short film called Star Trek Wars, which has had honestly an honor to be here with Geekfest all year long. I think it's been amazing what they've been able to do. It's a comedy about George Lucas and J.J. Abrams fighting over Star Wars 7, and it's really great. We're celebrating Star Trek 50 this year. So did play earlier today, but we're also online now. The film is also available to watch online, and we also have DVDs. So anyway, thank you.
It sounds like an excellent documentary.
Yeah.
I kid. I really want. That's cool. That looks cool. If you could talk about where you draw your inspiration, whether it's like from I have access to a house with a boat and I can make a movie there, which sometimes is an inspiration. Like resources can be an inspiration, but it can also be stuff that you see in the news or on television or just things that you love and your passions.
Well, you know, I think that's really inspiring, and I think that actually really holds true to us in a similar sense. We had actually made a film together prior to this, another short film called Steven Spielberg and the Return to Film School, and it was another comedy based on the true story of when Spielberg returned to college after 30 years. Actually, our university, myself and all of our friends were all from Cal State Long Beach, which is where he's from. So that did so well, and it won some awards, and we just really, though the actual story, you know, Star Trek was coming back, Star Wars is coming back, so much excitement about, oh, is JJ going to be able to live up to the hype? And for me, how does George Lucas give up his passion for the last 40 years? What's basically been his entire life.
$6 billion, right?
That's how you give. Yeah.
But I'll say this much I mean, there's so many reasons why we do this, because we're passionate about it, maybe because I'm really happy we got to do a Comic-Con. Like, we recreated a Comic-Con scene in the film, and I've been an attendee of these types of things for 10 years, and so kind of including my personal approach to it in there. But in the end, I think for me, the reason why I would love to keep doing projects like these is because we have these amazing people who are, some of them are new, some of them are veterans, who have the passion, like everyone's saying, and just getting to work with them and have the opportunity to, I don't know, just see the amazing things that people do, and just have the honor of like being able to put that into your movie, basically.
And what's been the reaction to the film when you screen it for people?
I'm really happy that it's been positive, because one thing and I actually am really happy that it has been so timely. One of the jokes in there is that, Star Wars and Star Trek are so against each other, and one of the themes of the movie has been, we should, see eye to eye, and we should appreciate each other's differences, like Gene Roddenberry would have wanted, and people have been responsive to that and have enjoyed it. Have really appreciated that message, and I'm glad I haven't heard like Star Trek should have won or something. It would be kind of sad if people were like, although the comment section on our YouTube page has some of those.
Comment section on the YouTube page is
It's a subgenre.
a hive of scum and villainy.
I think Geekfest has been pretty much the ideal venue that we didn't know that we needed. 100%. I don't think this would have done nearly as well at anything else.
Where would you say, like, in terms of like budget, like that's always sort of like your enemy, but also not having budget can be a source of inspiration. It's a way to solve problems, because I've seen some Hollywood movies, and spending a lot of money does not always equal quality, right? It doesn't equal a passion or a vision. It equals a marketing campaign for a film. I'm thinking about like Michael Bay's movies. They're all bloated and expensive and huge, but there's not a lot there at all. So when it comes to your projects, is that sort of lack of resources almost like, you touched on it, your lack of resources is kind of like a strength in itself, because you have to creatively solve issues rather than solve it by spending more money or digitally doing this or fixing it in post.
Okay, yeah. So we've made 2 of these now for ridiculously low amounts. Just just because we've had over 150 artists. In the past, we've had to feed like 300 people over the course of just a few days. And so in order to get around that, obviously you have to find the right people who are in that position where they want to contribute. But I think by having to fundraise, it's possible to open a few doors. I've met a number of my producers because I was fundraising and they heard about us. But when you fundraise, you have to tell everyone you know. You have to get it out as wide as you possibly can, and then you can get people that way. That's been one thing that's been interesting about that. We partnered with Thunder Studios, which is a soundstage in Long Beach, and they gave us a 100,000 square foot soundstage to shoot our battle scene for free. And I heard Sprint paid $100 grand for that the next day. So we got that for free, and have working with them has been amazing. The one thing I did want to mention about it though is that with the budget.
Do it.
Money.
Tell us.
There's something important. In film school, there's a lot of people who take money and then don't do anything with it, or they flush it all away, all into the camera department. They like buy one camera, or they flush it all away into production design or something. Those are great things, but at the end of the day, you have to realize it's the story that counts. And I've seen movies that cost, 10 grand or more, and they don't do so good, and they don't really touch anything because they were so focused on one area or another and didn't focus on the performances or the script. So in terms of making things on low budget, at least for me, it's helped me to zone in on like, okay, well, it's not going to look like $1 million. What do we need to do to get around that and still make it enjoyable?
A really close friend is about to make their feature film debut. And they ask you for one piece of advice. It could be a filmmaking tip. It could be something really simple. It could be a thing you think is the one thing they should focus on. So your closest friend in the world is about to embark on their creative journey. What is the one thing you tell them they need to do?
Tell your family and friends you love them. Give them a quick call. Of course, all these things, everything everyone's saying is completely true. My perspective is, before you spend any money, before you spend a dime, before you invest too much anywhere, put your writing and put the credibility of the performances first. I feel that people want to go to a film and be emotionally engaged. And so if you put that at the core of everything you do, whether it's the character's journey or the emotions you're trying to put into that story, that's what's going to sell. People will believe many things regardless of where you're at, but if they don't believe in the character's performances or the writing, then it won't work. And also just make everyone feel appreciated pretty much, because especially when they're all working for free.
Don't you think that's almost currency on an indie film set, is appreciation and praise, because that is such an important thing that we almost never get when having worked corporate jobs. Appreciation and praise is something that it's like, that's why they pay you money, because they don't give you that. But on an indie film set, appreciation and praise is something you can freely give, and that makes everybody work all that harder. Yeah, sure. Yeah. What are you guys up to? And then also where we can find you and whatnot.
We're working on another, hopefully a new film for next year. It's still being written. That's a tough phase, right? But it's kind of crazy. We're gonna probably do another fan thing, and I would like to do a drama that takes characters from the world of Pokemon. If anyone grew up with that, Ash, Misty, Brock, and see where they are today. And so please, I hope you get a chance to follow us online. I have cards for our films, so see me afterward. But you can just Google Star Trek Wars, check out our film online, it's free to watch. And please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, because we're gonna do another one, and we'd love to take you with us with it. So thank you, and thanks to everyone, seriously. It's been great getting to know everybody here the last year.
I want to thank you guys. Great panel, great advice from all you guys, and thank you for your creative passion and dedication to getting your projects done. I know how difficult it can be, and thank you for coming here to check out this panel. I know some people that are here have never been to a Comic-Con before, so I want to say thank you for coming here and joining the Nerd Tribe. Big round of applause for these guys.